A-Nation WFA National Championship powered by edX. The National Championship game is brought to you by A-Nation, the official sports drink of the WFA. Welcome to Canton, Ohio, where football legends are enshrined forever in history. But this weekend, the best in women's football takes center stage in the Women's Football Alliance's National Championship weekend. And it all starts with the Division III Championship as the Richmond Black Widows take on the Oklahoma Rage. And welcome into the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Matt Fargo, joined alongside TC Diva, Donna Wilkinson. Happy to have you along, and welcome to Football Heaven as we get you ready for Women's Football Alliance's National Championship weekend. And it starts with this Division III championship, Donna, a battle of undefeateds and two of the very best defenses we're going to see all weekend.
Yes, absolutely. The undefeated teams coming in here. I talked to the coach ahead of the game. He said, we want to be physical. We want to come in there. We want to smash mouths. We're expecting a hard-hitting game today, one of the best of the weekend.
All right, let's take a look at the tail of the tape. How these teams were so dominant through this season. You see the points per game. The Rage having a 9-point advantage in that department. What sticks out to you, Donna, in this tail of the tape?
Well, really, it's the dual-threat quarterback, Courtney Eldridge. She's thrown for 1,100 yards and rushed for 14 touchdowns. She's got weapons all over the field, and she can light the scoreboard up in a hurry.
They say defense wins championships. We will find out which one of those defenses will be dominant enough here with us this afternoon. Happy to have you along as Richmond wins the toss. They elect to receive the opening kickoff. That means Oklahoma has this sitting on a tee, and we are underway from Canton, Ohio, at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. This one rolling around at the 20-yard line and jumped on there. A little bit danger for the Black Widows to get things started, but they bring out the offense.
Well, this is definitely one of the games that everyone's really looking forward to. These teams are so well matched. We're expecting a lot of ground game from both of these teams today, and we're looking forward to a big game.
A big reason of that is the fact that these teams, unblemished, coming into the championship game, and I mentioned haven't given up a lot of points for Richmond. They have just given up 20 points all season. That's just in 2 games they gave up those 20 points. And on the Oklahoma side, 50 points in 3 games this season. So to work goes Mary Allison and the Black Widow offense. They go to the ground game, and DJ Thompson getting the carry, and nothing available there for the Black Widows to get things started.
Well, we're going to talk a lot about this defense, players staying in their gaps. You just see a good upfield push, negative loss in the first play. That's how you start the game.
Another look at the A-Nation instant replay. Coming in there for the Rage, Katie Sorensen, the linebacker, makes the tackle. It's second down at 12 after the loss. To get us moving along here from the I formation, back to the ground game one more time, and ping-ponging off a few and trying to get some open room there was Thompson again, and this time she gets pulled down from behind. Amy Moran comes up to make the stop, and it's quickly third down for the Black Widows behind the sticks.
Well, Moran definitely a scrappy player getting in there. Big impact.
Third down, 13. A team that was successful with a litany of stars running the football. DJ Thompson led that category with 433 yards this season, averaging 7 yards a touch. And they don't go to the air all of that much, but when you get behind the sticks, you almost get forced into it. We get pre-snap whistles that blow this dead.
Offense.
And it's a delay game penalty on Richmond, and a little bit of that championship jitters playing on the big stage here at Tom Benson Stadium.
Well, yeah, and this is a big play down in your end zone. You want to try to get some yards here, maybe get a first down.
Steve Baxter, the head coach of the Black Widows, can't be happy with behind the chain start here on third down, and he is not. He asks for a timeout before anything gets too much in the negative department, and they burn the first time out here early on a 3rd and 17, the opening series of our title game.
Well, yeah, as we look through the regular season and even the postseason, both of these teams' defense played strong. You really see, the effect of the defense out here today.
Yeah, you're talking about through the regular season, Oklahoma giving up 36 points in the regular season. 6 of those points came back on May 10th in a 12-6 win over the Rocky Mountain Thundercats, and then the other 30 on the regular season finale, a 62-30 win over the Iowa Phoenix. They gave up 14 points in the postseason, a rematch of a game earlier in the year with the Thundercats, and they won that game 20-14, but really some dominating performances there for the Rage. Let's check downstairs with the third member of our crew, Susie Cole, down on the sideline.
Thanks, Matt. We caught up with a couple of the Richmond coaches prior to the game, and they said this is going to be a physical matchup, arguably the best of the weekend. The Richmond coaches then went on to say they can't allow Rage quarterback Courtney Eldridge to get any time or space, adding their defense has to continue doing what it's done all season long with shutting teams down. Matt?
They flip it out, and it's as good as a run. It will go in the stat book as it passes. They flip it out here to the near side, complete the pass out. Tatiana Johnson on the reception picks up some of that lost penalty yardage, but still going to be well short of the line to gain. Looking like 4th down and 9 here for the Black Widows, and there is an injured player down as well. Medical staff out to attend to her. And the other factor, Don, I think in these championship games, we've been doing these for a handful of years now, this first game in the afternoon, a lot more heat than you're used to playing in those 6 and 7 o'clock kickoffs throughout the season, something that the athletic trainers need to preach. A lot of bananas, a lot of mustard, a lot of hydration, a lot of Aid Nation.
A lot of Aid Nation today. These teams, we do play at 6 or 7 o'clock at night. The sun's going down. Wherever you're at, it's cooling down a bit. But out here, we're upwards of 89, 90 degrees down on that turf. It's at least 10 degrees hotter reflecting off that turf. So these players got to really just settle in, focused. They're going to be fine.
More conversation here as they tend to one of the Oklahoma Rage players who is down and has been helped to her feet while she's being helped off her feet, now being carried off.
Okay, let's do this.
4th down for the Black Widows. Mary Allison will do the punting duties. Trying to get a roll out of this one. It gets scooped up. Berryhill on the return. It's not much of one. Great coverage there. Tracy Wright. Teammates call her Scar. She leaves a scar on that one on special teams.
We always love the big hits here in women's football. Players flying around. Nice job of catching that ball over the head, not letting it hit the ground.
Well, 1st down and 10 for the Oklahoma Rage. They take over first opportunity with the football offensively, and they were impressive offensively, scoring 31, 50, 47, 33, and 62 in the regular season. Screen pass set up to the near side numbers. It's completed. Sarah Rose on the reception, chased out of bounds. Keona Moore does that duty, but not before a gain of 8 yards and positive yards out of the gate for Oklahoma.
Well, yeah, and Courtney Eldridge really good at being a dual threat. She gets that ball out of her hand quickly. When it's not there, she also is a threat to run the ball.
And Eldridge this season, 85 of 126 and over 1,100 yards passing. Another screen play. This time they flip the formation and go to the other side. It's caught, but that's about it. Amy Moran makes the reception, but planted quickly thereafter. And it will bring up 3rd down. Nice closing speed and an open field tackle to not allow a receiver to shake loose for Jenna DeSantis.
Yes, that could have been a big play if she doesn't make that tackle there.
Third down. 2 to go for the Oklahoma Rage. Led by head coach Brandon Webb, a former offensive lineman for Oklahoma State. And a handed off, and it goes nowhere. A great push by the Black Widows as they hand the ball off to Keyshawn Simmons, and she gets decked by Shy Macklin.
And Manuela Curtis in there on the tackle. Nice double team tackle.
And after the positive gain on first down, Black Widows have buckled down like they have all season long. Keep in mind, they hadn't given up an offensive touchdown until 2 weeks ago in the semifinal, as this one will be thrown incomplete. There is a flag down, and there was a bunch of pushing and shoving going on that far boundary.
We'll say a lot of holding.
That's one way to make sure she doesn't catch the ball, but you need to make sure you don't get caught either. And there is the holding call on Richmond that will give us our first down of this ball game, as Oklahoma takes it deeper into Richmond territory. It'll be a first down at 10 sitting at the 34-yard line. As we reset the chains here for Courtney Eldridge and company. Eldridge 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on the season. High snap, Eldridge was able to handle it, was able to put it into the stomach of Simmons, who carries forward to the 27-yard line. A nice piece of running there for Simmons.
Yeah, it's just a nice job following her blocks, taking what the defense is giving her. Crafty little back.
Let's check in with Susie Cool, who has an injury update for us. Susie.
Matt, we saw defensive back for the Rage, Tarjei Knudsvig, go down a couple of plays ago. She was immediately carried off the field by her coach. She is on one of the benches on Oklahoma's sidelines right now, already has ice on her left knee, and it is going to be TBD to see if she'll be back in today's game. Matt?
Susie, thank you. Thoughts with Tarjei Knudsvig? That's the part of this game they never want to see, Donna, and talked about it at nauseum about these ladies and what they put out on the line each and every Saturday, or Friday in this case.
5-yard penalty from the previous spot. We'll replay fourth down.
Well, you know, an injury is always part of the game of football. When you're choosing to play a sport where you're running your body as hard as you can into another human being, you're going to have injuries, you know, and that's part of the game that you accept as an athlete going out there. You know, I still got fingers that bend the wrong direction and, you know, some nice mementos from my days playing.
Sure. But that makes winning the championship all worth it, right?
Oh, so much sweeter.
Second down, low snap handled by Eldridge. Was able to dump it off to the far side numbers, and just shy of the line to gain. On the reception there for Oklahoma, Amy Moran one more time, her second reception, and it will be 3rd and 1.
And I just got to give a shout out to Emily Daw, offensive tackle. She comes out there and gets a nice kick out block on that little screen play, levels a defender. That's what you want your offensive line to do. Get up, get moving, pancake somebody.
Well, as their head coach, a former offensive lineman at Oklahoma State, you know the O-line's going to be locked down. And here we are at 3rd down and 1. Shotgun for Eldridge. They fake the handoff, then they have receivers sliding out there into space. A 1st down and more on the reception, Katie Sorensen. And Oklahoma picks up a 1st down, and they track in to the red zone of Richmond as there is a flag down.
Offsides, 12 on the defense. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is a 1st down.
Not going to matter, a moot point.
Well, Richmond got off that ball really hard. Had that been a run play, that would have been stuffed right here. You see them off the ball. Great job, little swing pass, getting enough for the 1st down.
You see quarterback Courtney Eldridge, 5'6", out of Tulsa. Flips it, this one to the left side. Shavonna Rucker gets run down. Containment by the Richmond defense. TK Graham on the tackle.
Well, TK Graham's your top player here for the Black Widows. Leads the team with 26 solo tackles, 8 tackles for a loss. Just having a tremendous season. You can see her ability right there, taking a player down. She's got that speed.
We'll make it 9 tackles for a loss on that one as it pushes Oklahoma behind the stick. Second down at 13. Ball rest at the 15. Eldridge from the shotgun. Looks near side. Tall pass pulled down and then pulled away at the 10-yard line. Richmond says they have it and they roll. Incomplete is the rolling on the field. And the Black Widows are beside themselves. They thought they had an interception.
I want to see that replay. That was such a tremendous job by the defense. Second effort by the offense to try to catch the ball. Here we go. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there, no, that's a great call.
You do see it hit the ground there. I mean, a player's always going to try to convince you they caught it, though, right?
Miss Macklin and her acting skills, just not enough there. Third down and 13. As Eldridge steps up, puts a floater into the end zone and just can't connect. Had her receiver open on that one, incomplete. Sarah Rose, the intended receiver, and it will be fourth down.
Well, you know, she ended up having 2 receivers over in the same area, kind of threw the ball in between both of them. There was a clear opportunity for a touchdown pass right there.
Fourth down, 13. They can get a first down at about the 3. Setting up another tunnel screen. It goes incomplete and a turnover on downs. And here you get a representation of bending but not breaking. Richmond has done it all season long, and they do another great example of it here in not allowing the Rage to break this deadlock here with 7:30 in the first.
Yes, and you see this little shovel pass trying to get a little screen up in here. That wasn't going to go for anywhere, even if it was completed. Great job by the defense.
Richmond takes over at their own 16-yard line. First down at 10. Richmond undefeated. Won 27-0 over the Upstate Lady Predators, and then a win over the Connecticut Ambush in the postseason to advance to this championship game out of the National Conference. And then a handoff here that has no room for DJ Thompson.
That's Mary Moore on the tackle.
Shannon Moore. We had a typo there, and we apologize for that. Second down at 12. Back to the ground game one more time. And Thompson carries to the 18-yard line. It will be third down coming up here for Richmond, who's in their 10th season, their second appearance in a championship game. Made an appearance in the Division III championship their first year back in 2016. They lost in that title game, got back to the semifinals in 18, but could not punch their ticket to the title. So in their 10th season, looking for that elusive first title. And Richmond is also the example of a well-represented DMV. You got to be pretty happy with that, Donna, with Richmond, Baltimore, and DC all in every level of the WFA championship games.
Absolutely. It's been a great year for the DC metro area. Lots of great football happening up there. You know, but the city is poised up there for football. You know, as the DC started in 2001, it just started building, and the area just started wanting more and more football. So glad to see all these teams up here this weekend.
Going to be a fun weekend in store. Of course, the Division II National Championship game on the back half of this one coming up at 6, and then National Championship in the Pro Division tomorrow at 2 on ESPN. And we cap the weekend off with a tip of the cap to the best in women's football in the All-American game tomorrow evening. Great weekend in store. All here on the All Women's Sports Network, or of course National Championship game on ESPN2. Both of these teams, Donna, slow out of the gate. This has been a sluggish start.
At least Oklahoma displaying some of their offensive power. We've yet to see anything out of Richmond offensively, even mixing it up a little bit here. Let's see if they can get this ball moving.
Yeah, average 39 points per game. Motion out of the slot. Run play off the right side.
Well, there's
as keeping was Mary Allison, and maybe they were trying to fool the Oklahoma Rage defense, and they were not.
I kind of felt like there was some sort of miscommunication with the running back on receiving that handoff, because she looks like she's about to go, and maybe that was a complete play action. OKC all over it.
Emily Daw, you mentioned her anchoring that defensive line for the Rage. 4th down, punts away, and it's going to need a good roll, and gets a nice, decent roll there, just parking shy of the midfield stripe at the 49-yard line, handing the ball back over to Oklahoma in Richmond territory. 5:20 to go in our opening quarter with no score here in the WFA's National Championship in Division III.
Well, you know, one thing you notice, these teams score a lot of points, but they're not playing defenses like each other. And so when you see them come up against a legitimate defense, then you see how good your offense really is, what your weapons are, and what you can do. So we're going to get a chance for Oklahoma. Show us what you got.
Rage certainly came out enjoying the screen game, no matter what they were doing, one side or the other. And here's Eldridge back to work on a 1st down and 10 from the 49. They go back to the ground game, and it's Keyshawn Simmons inside the 45 to the 43.
And once again, this is the offensive line. You see another down block pull, kick out. This offensive line is getting off the ball. They are moving right here. Nice job just creating a nice seam in the middle.
Second down at 4 as Simmons picks up 6. Trying to establish some rhythm here on the offensive side of things. Eldridge going to put one up down the far numbers and nearly intercepted. Trying to play center field on that one. Tatiana Johnson almost ran right under that thing, but wasn't able to. It falls harmlessly to the phony grass here at Tom Benson Stadium, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, I'm enjoying just watching her release that ball now. The defender is all over the receiver, and this is a safety coming over, almost making that pick. Great, great defense.
Rage fans getting into it. Third down and 4. Back to passes. Eldridge with pressure gets the pass away and overshoots her intended receiver, incomplete. Katie Sorensen, the intended receiver, could not haul it in, but she had mad pressure in her grill quickly.
Yeah, she had pressure. I think she even had her tight end open down a little seam route there. Great job defense getting right up in her grill.
Fourth down. And this battle of defenses early at 4:31 in the opening quarter. We've had turnovers on downs and punts galore so far, and a run play that will run shy of the line to gain. It'll be a turnover on downs after the handoff to Keyshawn Simmons. Does not get the sticks. And Richmond almost works to their advantage with the punt and then the hold. They get good field position out of it.
Well, they just gave themselves 30 yards there, so we'll take it. Start at the 50, see if they can move a little bit better, not being so deep in their end zone, a little more comfortable out in the middle of the field.
First down and 10, ball at the 41-yard line for the Black Widows of Richmond. See what Steve Baxter has dialed up here. As Mary Allison goes under center. High formation. And they hand it off. DJ Thompson carries for 2 yards, no further.
Tackled by a swarm of OKC Rage. They were in a rage there for sure.
Yeah, Shavonna Rucker in that pile for Oklahoma, and it will be second down. Trying to bounce it to the outside and nothing available, and Shavonna Rucker is there again.
When you see an offensive line player's helmet go off because of the collision with the defensive line, you know you had a hit. If we see this replay, watch this initial offensive defensive line battle. Helmet's coming off.
Oh, there
Boom.
it is.
Helmet, head, body. Whew. Maybe it was your own helmet coming off, you hit so hard.
Third down, they go back to the ground game, and it is hard sledding here for this Richmond running back, as that was Shanisa Isep getting the carry, and nothing available. It will be a loss back to the 40 on this one.
Jasmine Crisp in on the defense. You can just see this defense is really too much for this offensive attack that we see from Richmond here. They're going to have to open it up and mix it up if they want to move the ball in this OKC defense.
Another punt. This one not nearly as good as the last ones there from the right foot of Mary Allison. It is going to be down at the 47-yard line, where Oklahoma takes over. First down at 10. And the Rage go back to work. And they've had good field position, Donna. They've really been gifted some opportunities from the Richmond offense that hasn't been able to get things clicking, but really the Oklahoma Rage offense hasn't been able to do much either.
Yes, they've had a good play here, a good play there, and then they shut down. So we're going to see if they can put a string of plays together, keep this series going. We're looking for both teams to get off a little bit more offensively.
It's 21 yards of passing offense from this Rage. They're going to try to push forward on the ground game. Simmons stacked up.
Jasmine Beard on the tackle. She's been a beast all year with 21.5 solo tackles. She really helps the defense as a spark plug. You see her energy out there coming off the ball, coming off that block, coming back inside to make the tackle.
Going to give her one. Second down at 9. Coming up 2:15 to go in the first quarter. Richmond shows blitz, and I think they might have gotten Oklahoma to jump there.
Ball start offense, number 24, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat second down.
Sure enough.
Defender did a great job of getting movement forward without getting into the neutral zone to get that called on them.
Option play for Eldridge. She keeps and tries to stretch forward to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. She's going to be a yard short of that, so that's where it will be third down.
And you're seeing Richmond start to understand what they're doing up front with their offensive line. They're blocking scheme, these down blocks, kickouts, traps, all those sort of things, you're seeing that defensive line just do a little bit better job staying on their person and getting off that block faster.
Third and 11. Eldridge sets up a screenplay and the ball's thrown behind her, incomplete. Sorensen tried to one-hand it behind her head but wasn't able to reel it in, and it will be 4th down for Oklahoma.
You know, she had some time there. I want to see her set her feet and just launch that ball. There's not a lot of opportunity when you don't have defenders in your face.
Eldridge with a flag down. Shakes off a one and then we'll get an opportunity to return it here. It's Johnson on the return. A little stop and go. Another flag down and Johnson shakes away from everybody and will take it into the end zone. But flags everywhere. Not a good chance that this one holds. But electrifying 82-yard punt return. Really the first spark from either side. It will not go down in the books like that.
Well, she sort of received that ball like she wasn't planning on catching it, and then she did at the last moment, and then back and forth. Let's see what the flag is.
I think there's two. I think there was one right at the moment of the punt, and then there was another one on the return. Oklahoma's in their first championship appearance here in Canton, Ohio. Let's check the flags.
I have an illegal formation on the offense, not enough players on the line of scrimmage. That penalty has been declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
How about it? It's going to stand. 82 yards.
Well, what do you know?
Tatiana Johnson. Take a look at it on the Aid Nation instant replay.
I'm going to catch it. I'm not going to catch it. Here we go. Whoop. Then just turns on her speed. Nice cut back here at the end. Well, that's the Black Widow's leading receiver. Longest catch of her life was 61 yards. She just outperformed herself.
Yeah, with that 82-yard punt return, she has Showtime sticker on the back of her paraphernalia. Now 2-point conversion attempt for Richmond to take the advantage. Throwing here too tall, incomplete. That was Tracy Wright doing the quarterbacking duties, trying to get over to TK Graham. Wasn't able to do so, but Richmond on the board first, 6-0, and special teams. Who would think when the offenses aren't doing much, defenses are playing really even, the special teams are the side of the ball that steps up.
Well, special teams stepping up big time today. Now let's see what Oklahoma City can do coming back from down. Now they've got a little bit more pressure. Maybe that will actually help them perform.
Let's check in with Susie Cool down on the sidelines.
Thanks, Matt. The last time the Black Widows made it to the national championship was all the way back during their first season in 2015, where they lost by just 2 points. So this second appearance to the national title game hasn't been an easy task for Richmond. Richmond quarterback Mary Allison said it truly has been a journey to get here. Being undefeated and going to the national championship, there truly have been so many highlights throughout this process and this season. The Black Widows hope to come out on the other side this time with their first national championship win, and that all started with that first touchdown. Matt?
Thanks, Susie. Yeah, it's fun to see the team's maturation as a franchise, as a program, and the coaches and the players that stick around. You know, Donna, firsthand about what it means to grind through maybe the low years, the sour years, to get to a championship game and have an opportunity to win a title.
Well, you really just have to have that internal fire, that internal burn to want to be the best. And a lot of these players, they have that regardless of where they're playing.
Well, that got interesting quick.
It's that kind of onside, half onside kick.
Yeah, Amy Moran did a great job at securing that one. That's one that's not going to make the highlight tape, but if that goes a different way, it would have.
Well, you know, we just saw the game a couple weeks ago with DC, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh kicking an onside kick right in the middle of the game, catching them off guard.
Yep. That was a line drive.
That was a really hard kick. It would have bounced off of a lot of players.
That was the closest thing. I'd never seen that in real football, but that was the longest yard-esque, where like you were just picking out one player and just trying to line drive it at their head. But that one doesn't go the way of the Black Widows. The Rage get it, and they'll take over first down and 10 at the 42-yard line. End around off the left side. It's Sarah Rose. Rose gets the corner, and there's Black Widows to meet her there after about a 2-yard pickup. And Jenna DeSantis, first one on the scene.
Yeah, really a run-stopping anchor, just taking over. You see coming off that block, nice and easy.
"20 seconds to go in our opening frame. 6-0 Richmond. Eldridge trying to flip this out. No one's home to get this screen. And it will bring up third down here for Oklahoma.
I like the call. Richmond's coming with aggressive defense. Their defense was so good they couldn't even get the screen off with the amount of aggression on that play.
Courtney Eldridge is a aircraft mechanic, so she's used to, when things aren't working right, knowing how to fix them. Right now she's trying to fix this Oklahoma Rage offense on a 3rd down and 8 play. 4 wide receivers set. And a handoff as they go back to Simmons. And Simmons carries a yard shy of the line to gain at the 49. And that will be the way the quarter ends. And when we come back, it will be decision time for Oklahoma to start our second quarter. But one quarter's in the books for Canton, Ohio. It is Richmond leading Oklahoma 6-0 in the WFA National Championship. The WFA National Championship games brought to you in part by A Nation and edX. And we'll welcome you back. Second quarter action here from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Division III WFA National Championship. And Richmond has the early advantage over Oklahoma with Donna Wilkinson, Matt Fargo with you. Susie Cool down on the sidelines. Welcome all of you watching on the All Women's Sports Network all around the world. Bringing you this afternoon's contest. And special teams, so far the difference, an 82-yard punt return, the difference for Richmond. And now a 4th down attempt as we flip field for Courtney Eldridge and this Rage offense, a 4th down and 1. And Richmond shows blitz. Does the Rage jump again? Yes, they do.
You know, that's just unfortunate. You have a 4th down and short. Your team's in a good position here. You know, we're looking at the first quarter stats from Richmond. Richmond has 8 carries for -9 yards. And so their special teams is everything right now. Oklahoma City's been putting down the hammer.
We get a timeout taken. And Oklahoma's going to burn a timeout because now it's 4th down and 6, and the playbook thins a bit from 4th down and 1.
Yeah, it's just tough coming right in this first part of the second quarter, needing that timeout. You really want to save those for the end of this quarter. Let's see what kind of play they come up with. We were talking during the break here. We really want to see this quarterback settle her feet. It's been a little bit of a rush, trying to get a little bit too much touch on the ball maybe. Just settle, find your target, hit him.
Yeah, I mentioned 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, over 1,100 yards passing. Completed 67% of her passes this season. Quarterback rating coming into this afternoon was a 116. all good things coming from number 3 on the Oklahoma side of the coin. Fourth and 6. Eldridge gets the snap. Will throw it out and in and out of the hands. This time not being able to reel it in was Katie Sorensen. Last drive ended on a 4th down play that was thrown behind Sorensen. This one she can't reel in.
Well, that was the right call. She was open on that play, would have had enough for a first down had she been able to hold on to it. Just turned her head a second too early.
Get a little bit excited knowing all that room's available out there. You start thinking about what dance you're going to do in the end zone and not hauling in the ball there. And Richmond takes over on downs, first down at 10 from the 46-yard line. And they've had short fields, but haven't been able to turn it into points to this point. See what this drive has for Mary Allison. She'll keep. Juking and jiving her way is no, that's Essep on the carry. And she'll pick her way to the 46.
Just picking her little spots in between the defense there. Nice tackle coming over. Shanice Chapman.
Good pal moving forward to the 35-yard line, carrying would-be tacklers with her. As Manny Curtis gets the carry.
First life in this Black Widows offense today.
That's a first down for the Black Widows. Anna Amen finally brought her down. They stick with the ground game. This time, Jamisha Worthington gets the carry, and she goes ping-ponging off of would-be tacklers all the way down inside the 30.
Well, that's a tough back to take down. 1, 2, 3. Makes a few people miss. Nice lateral movement. Great size. Smash mouth football.
Yeah, that's the 7 yards in a cloud of tire pellets. They're down there on the field as they push the pile forward. That's a fresh set of downs. Back-to-back first downs here for the Black Widows.
This is all Black Widow offensive line right here. They're doing a great job just getting off that ball hard, getting a push, getting deep into the defensive backfield. Look at this. And a little extra there. Thank you, Woodson.
Back to the fullback and Worthington. This time the Rage have it snuffed out and they get the push. 2 yards.
One thing you'll notice, a lot of hats to the ball. Every carry you're seeing 4, 5, 6 players in on the tackle.
Second down at 8 for Richmond and their offense. Tracy Wright going to take the snap here. She takes it, turns the corner with pressure. She has nowhere to go, and she'll go backwards. Planted down at the 25.
That's just a great defensive stop there. Great job holding the edge. Looks like Khalil Berryhill in on the tackle. And you can see all along she was planning on keeping this ball, just does not have enough speed to get outside past either defender. Shavonna Rucker.
Third down now. They mark her down at the 26. So it makes it 3rd and 13. And a flag down from that back judge. Delay of game is normally the
game
call.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat.
Sure enough.
Got to be frustrated if you're a coach. Lack of discipline, focus. You've been practicing all year, preparing for this moment.
And Richmond's going to burn a timeout. Aid Nation hydration opportunity. And a chance to talk over what is now a 3rd down at 18. And playing behind the sticks has been the theme of this first half.
Well, you don't really have a lot of 18-yard plays in your offense here. We're seeing a lot of short yardage plays. So what do you recommend that they do here, trying to pick up, 10 yards, go for a little short pass, or are you going to try to keep running the ball?
I think it's one of those instances you put the ball up and see what you could come up with. I mean, look at what Richmond was able to do with the punt return. Try to get the ball into your playmakers' hands and let them make a play. We saw firsthand how we didn't need much room for Richmond to find a way into the end zone. So
if I'm Richmond, I'm giving the ball to TK Graham. Going to find the way to put that ball in her hands, let her make a play.
Third and 18. Back to pass. It's Wright. She will throw a jump ball that's tipped into the air and incomplete. But that was my thought, Donna. That was what I was looking for, is kind of throw a jump ball and play a little bit of backyard ball and say go deep and I'll find you.
Well, Oklahoma's prepared for that. They're working with a 3-down lineman, putting in their package of all their defensive backs. Left that ball up there, and anybody could have made a play on it.
Makes it 4th down at 18.
I'm with you, because when you throw that shot, anything can happen.
And even if the Rage were to intercept that, that works even better than a punt. Wright's going to go back to pass again. She'll dial up another one. She was hit as she throws it. It is intercepted. Moran picks it off.
Well, there's your punt.
And there's your punt, exactly. Almost would have preferred them to pick the first one off rather than that one, but Oklahoma takes over. And I'll tell you what, both defenses had their backs against the wall and have shut the door on the other. Mary Allison came up to make the tackle on that INT. I'd love in just the game of football, Donna, if we added a statistical category for forced interceptions. Give the people up front, give the ladies, the men up front, because that interception was all forced by the pressure on the quarterback.
Absolutely. Give a half a sack to that lineman.
Absolutely.
Or half an interception as well.
Right. First down at 10 for Oklahoma. And whistles blow this play dead.
Just had to use a timeout.
And they will burn one. Oklahoma, one of the least penalized teams in the league coming into this. Just 6 penalties. Whereas Richmond, a little bit more full of them, 18 of them, average about 4 a game.
Well, you know, penalties are different things. Sometimes it's over-aggression. Sometimes it's lack of focus. Sometimes it's being startled by another player, right? There's so many layers and factors into what actually create all these penalties, false starts, those sorts of things. Really, it comes down to discipline.
Yeah, discipline and the fundamentals.
I was not a penalized player. I stayed within the game as best as I could to play it as hard as I could. But being mindful of where I'm at, what I'm doing, what the players around me are doing, so that I'm not going to get caught and penalize my team.
First down and 10 for Oklahoma. They go shotgun formation for Courtney Eldridge. She goes back to pass, going to try to throw a seam route here, and it is incomplete with flags flying in the vicinity of pass interference.
Well, Shaw Macklin just really couldn't turn around. She was in coverage on the receiver. That ball was underthrown, which actually created the perfect lane back for that receiver to come through the defender and get that penalty.
That's Vanessa Bledsoe, the intended receiver.
Pass interference on the defense, number 35. Result of the play will be automatic first down.
First down, spot foul at the 28. You feel, though, Oklahoma is just budding at the opportunity to hit one for a big play. Simmons the carry and gets tripped up there.
That was a really nice play. She came up from the safety position to make that tackle. You can see all the up front blocking. Great job creating a lane. She comes downfield hard. Makes a nice hit.
Second down at 6, picked up 4. Eldridge puts the ball up onto the far side. Numbers, and it's incomplete. Intended for Bledsoe. One-on-one coverage there.
Great defense, just blanketing the receiver. Doesn't have enough separation.
Another look on the Aid Nation Instant Replay. Third down, 6. Ball sits at the 32. This time they go to the slant pattern. It works for a first down. Pulled down at the 44. First down, Oklahoma.
That's what we were talking about. Get settled, sit, make that nice clean throw. Great route.
Bledsoe holds it in. She is down. Trainers coming out to 10. We'll take another look at the first down conversion.
And she does get pulled by that arm pretty hard as she's in the middle of being taken down. Looks like she's going to be all right.
Medical training staff going to take a look at her. Meanwhile, Oklahoma has a first down and something cooking here in the second quarter, trailing 6-0. Joined us late, an 82-yard punt return, the difference. Eldridge sends 4 wide. They go back to Simmons. Simmons picks her way to the 47. or it will be 3rd down.
OKC just sticking with what they do best. Just love watching this offensive line work.
I beg your pardon, it will be 2nd down and 7. Five wide now. Empty backfield for Eldridge. Motion and whistles blow everything dead.
Play clock.
We're going to get another timeout to save it from that.
Yep.
Timeout, Oklahoma.
That's twice now they've had a challenge with that play clock coming down, having to burn that timeout. At least the quarterback's paying attention. Many other games we've seen that clock just run to 0, get that penalty. But I know what's worse, losing a timeout or getting a penalty.
Well, if it happens again, they're going to have to find out because they're now out of timeouts.
Yeah, that's a tough thing with 8 minutes left going into a half. Kind of want to save those for those last 2 minutes in case you're in a strategic little battle here.
Check in with Susie Cool down to the sidelines.
Thanks, Matt. According to Rage head coach Brandon Webb, the team's motto this season has been "the work's not done yet." After an undefeated regular season, the Rage now find themselves competing for their first ever national title. Webb isn't surprised by this accomplishment from his team, though. He says work wins. They had the pieces and added some more this season, and everybody is just continuing to get better. Webb then added how the Rage have truly put their blood, sweat, and tears into this season, and they're hoping one final game can count as proof that hard work pays off with a national championship win. Matt?
Susie, thank you. All the hard work will pay off. Motion on 2nd down and 7. And pressured, and down she goes is Dom Jones as they cannot make it happen to the backfield, and great pressure there immediately from Richmond to make that happen. Tay Willis, first one there.
Right, you're seeing these blocks up front, and then the other defensive players, outside linebacker, there you see TK Graham flying up, making the play, not waiting for those blocks to set and get that screen open. They're flying up and making that tackle.
It's 3rd down and 10. Ball at the 44-yard line. Women's Football Alliance Division III National Championship. 6-3 lead for Richmond. And a 5 wide receiver set, and here comes the delay of game penalty.
You know, I think they just need to pick up their tempo a little bit here, go with a little bit more sense of that urgency. You know, I know it's not in no huddle or that type of rush, but here, this is 3 plays now in this quarter where you have not been to the line on time.
3rd down and 15 after the penalty. Eldridge quickly to the screen. 1 to beat. She'll shake her off, and it's a race to the sticks. And it will depend on the spot. It looks like it's about a yard shy of the first down, but a great job on an open field shake and bake from Sarah Rose.
Yeah, nice play. Just get that ball out to your receiver. Let her make a play. Makes one person miss. Needs 1 more yard for the first down. Big hit there. Johnson coming up.
Has the touchdown. Now another big hit in her belt, and it will be 4th down and 1. Last time they had a 4th and 1, they jumped. It was almost as I was saying it.
You know, you don't.
White, number 75. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. We're going to replay 4th down.
You know, how is somebody not frustrated right now when we're sitting here frustrated that we're watching this happen again?
It's just one of those things that it's going back to your point, Donna, of like, that's mental. Like that's all mental of, I know what they made us do the last time. I can't afford, I won't let them do it again. And now you're back to a 4th and 6.
And when you hurry up, it's not about rushing. You're not rushing.
Keeping, and this is not going to be anywhere near the sticks.
Swarm of Black Widow defense all over that play.
That was Rebecca Crawford trying to get that on the direct snap. And there is a Black Widow player down, but it will be a turnover on downs, and Richmond takes over, leading this one 6-0.
Well, we were expecting a defensive battle today.
Wow, are we? We're getting it. Checking on the injured player. That's Jasmine Beard. And it is a scorcher down there, and Susie Cool's been out of the elements. Susie, are you staying cool?
You know, Matt, I am really trying to down here. I actually have a seat in the shade. However, yeah, Evan, go ahead. You can check me out here. I have a seat in the shade here because it is so hot on this turf. It's 89 degrees, and I just looked up. The turf can actually add 30 degrees to the heat down here, and that is no joke down here today. I talked to some girls on the Richmond sideline. One of their athletic trainers was distributing wet towels to put on their heads to try and keep them cool. I said, "How are you ladies holding up?" They just simply said, "It is hot," and they left it at that. So it is a scorcher down here, Matt.
Thanks, Susie. Yeah, no, I'm pretty comfortable up here in the AC. It's pretty nice, have to admit. But
Susie's always cool. Susie's always cool.
That is true. Lives up to the title every time. 30 degrees is crazy, though. I would have thought maybe 10, but potentially adding an additional 30 degrees is wild. Well, the Black Widow offense tries to solve this Rubik's Cube for offenses that has not been figured out to this point in this first half. As they lose yardage on the first down carry to make it 2nd down and 13. Mary Allison, a design quarterback keeper, tries to get the corner, and there is no corner available.
Yeah, I'm feeling everything's just staying in too tight. Everything's up in the box. We need to open this thing up, move the ball outside, even outside the hashes, try to get this field open a little bit more. Everything is just too tight, too easy for Oklahoma to defend.
Stinson on the tackle for the Rage. Yeah, that's why I feel like Oklahoma's had the better opportunity, because they are playing that spread game and trying to wind it up, but it's more been self-infliction on the Oklahoma side, at least offensively. 3rd down, 13. Ball pops loose. It's still bobbling around out there, and Oklahoma comes up the winner of the 50-50 ball.
Well, what a turn of events. Right as we're looking at Richmond, Oklahoma comes up with a big play.
Lily Swisher on the recovery.
Now you can see here the handoff just kind of slips out of her hand.
It's for Swisher. It's a look what I found
I'll
opportunity.
take it.
Yes, absolutely. Ball bouncing around like that. That fumble happened inside the hash marks. Ball ended up outside of it. And let's see if Oklahoma can take this gift from Richmond late in the first half, trailing by 6. They're 1st down and 10 at the midfield stripe. Eldridge, screen pass to that far side. It's completed. Rose on the reception, and Rose wrestled down after a 10-yard pass and catch right at the 1st down marker. It's a 1st down for Oklahoma.
I think we're going to see more of that quick pass, get that ball out there, running the screens all day, but just get your receivers the ball, let your playmakers make some plays out in space. Anything can happen. Make one defender miss, and you got a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 40 now for Oklahoma. 4:15 as this clock churns here in the second from the shadows of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Shovel pass to get it over to Simmons. And she's leveled. Man, another big time hit by Tatiana Johnson.
Tatiana comes up with the boom. But, you know, on that play, I'm watching out here, and some of the Oklahoma City players aren't finishing the play. They're out in the middle of this play. We see number 23 out here. She kind of thinks the play is over, just hanging out. That play is still going on. Johnson says so.
Big time hit. She's been a highlight reel all herself in this first half. Eldridge. Tunnel screen to Rose and executed perfectly defensively to hold her to just the catch. Macklin wrestles her down right after it.
Well, we've been seeing a bend but do not break defense for the Black Widows all night tonight.
Third down and 7. They go 4 wide. Back to the ground game at Simmons. She'll get to the 35-yard line where she's met by a host of black and red. First one on the tackle is Nathaniel.
In there with Jasmine Beard, whole host of
Jaquita Nathaniel, one of the star linebackers on this Black Widow squad. We get down to the 2-minute warning. And a fourth down coming up here for Oklahoma. Opportunity for the Rage to go in potentially with the lead. If not a deadlocked first half, but they need to convert this fourth down in order to accomplish that feat. We're talking about the defenses, and it has been a slugfest in this first half defensively. And Donna, as a former defensive player yourself, you got to love the big hits.
I love big hits. I love them on offense, on defense, special teams. Here we see big hit, Black Widows.
I love it.
I would have predicted a defensive battle today. I don't think I would have predicted a 6-0 score at this point in the game.
Yeah, certainly it's been both offenses have been stifled. And we'll go back to pass and throw that one out to the far numbers that falls incomplete. Bledsoe, the intended receiver, and it is a turnover on downs. Black Widows get the football back once again on a failed fourth down.
Well, they got a chance to put a little separation in this game if they can get this ball moving. We haven't seen them put together an entire drive. Let's see what they can do in the final 2 minutes of this quarter.
First down and 10. Little misdirection. A karaoke move there by DJ Thompson, trying to buy some separation. She'll earn maybe a half yard for all of that juking and jiving.
It looks good on your highlight reel. Get that little extra cut in there.
Right.
Except you only got 1 yard.
Coming up at halftime, a special edition of Road of Champions with Brian Sweeney. Alex Wested will break down some of the best of the WFA.
And we're moving the chains.
You got a first down here. Fresh set for the Black Widows.
Is that our...
Minute to go. And it's TK Graham trying to get the edge. Chasing her down, Amy Moran.
Dominique Jones. She's an under-the-radar contributor. Right in there.
Handoff goes to Estep, and she is planted. Courtesy of Vanessa Bledsoe.
Bledsoe's not coming off that field. A lot of these players go in both directions. That's when it gets really tough. When you got your top players coming every play, it's got to be wearing them down a little bit.
Third down and 7. And whistles will end the half. Black Widows are happy with taking the halftime lead of 6-0 into the locker room, as Richmond has the advantage courtesy of that special teams touchdown in the first quarter. As we will check downstairs with Susie Cool.
Coach, the lone touchdown of this game so far coming on special teams. How much of an emphasis was put on special teams going into this game?
Actually, it wasn't much, man, but I saw their strength, and we worked on it maybe last week. We just put something in last week.
It's 89 degrees out right now. It's hot. It's about 30 degrees hotter on this turf. So how much of a factor is heat playing in this game right now?
I don't think it's a factor for neither team. Both teams are good. It's a defensive game, as you see. Both teams are well prepared. And I think it just all down who won it.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Right,
good luck. Matt?
Thanks, Susie. As the X's and O's, what adjustments will be made in a, well, very much so, defensive stalemate to this point. 6-0 Richmond leads Oklahoma in the Division III WFA National Championship game, presented to you by A Nation and edX. It's a special edition of Road of Champions coming up next at halftime. Stick around. More to come here on the All Women's Sports Network from Canton, Ohio. Welcome back inside Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium at Canton, Ohio. Football heaven and the home of Women's Football Alliance National Championship weekend. Division III's championship is 6-0 in favor of Richmond as they lead Oklahoma here at the halftime. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, back alongside the DC Diva, former national champ Donna Wilkinson. Matt Fargo with you. Happy to have you along this afternoon. Game 1 of 4 exciting women's football contests, and we knew coming into this, Donna, the defenses were the counterpart. That was what was going to be showcased throughout tonight's game, and it's holding true. I don't think I would have thought that the team that has 29 yards total is the one leading at halftime.
Right, well, that special teams is going to be key every game. This game, it's the difference in this game. I want to see the offenses get back on track second half, get a little more firepower going. Looking forward to the second half.
Yeah, it should be interesting. What do you think the coaches are going to do to adjust and try to open up offensively. We haven't seen an offensive touchdown yet.
Well, I think Oklahoma City just needs to settle their feet. They're getting movement. They're getting the ball down. They need to put an entire drive together. Richmond, on the other hand, they're keeping the ball too tight within the hashes. They need to extend the ball. They need to get the ball outside of the hashes, outside the numbers, get their playmakers the ball so they can make some plays. They've had really a big struggle getting the ball to their playmakers.
And it's hot enough, Susie was mentioning that, but another reason to make a head coach hot is penalties, and there's been too many of them in the first half on both sides.
Absolutely, and we saw OKC coming up to the line, getting to the exact 0-0 3 times in that second quarter. You cannot be that undisciplined getting to the line of scrimmage. These are little details that are so important into a game. I expect second half they're going to come back focused, more prepared, and less penalties.
All right, we're going to have to wait and see how that plays out. It is now time for a special edition of the Road of Champions with Brian and Alex. Take it away, gentlemen.
This group right here, all around, is football. We're all football players. Y'all are football players, okay?
Down. Tachiela's going to go straight ahead. Got a receiver caught touchdown. They're back by him. What a catch. Houdini acts. Sideline. She works another tackle. They've got one
This is the Aid Nation WFA National Championship powered by edX. The National Championship game brought to you by Aid Nation, the official sports drink of the WFA, and by edX, the official online education partner of the WFA. And inside Tom Benson Stadium at the Hall of Fame Village, it's 6-0. Richmond leads Oklahoma at the break. The Black Widows have the edge thanks to special teams being the difference between these. Battle of unbeaten, 6-0 apiece, Donna, and we take a look at the highlights, and it was defensive-led, to say the least.
Well, there we see our number 1 tackler for Richmond coming in and making the tackle.
And then it was the only score of this game. Punt return for the Black Widows. Tatiana Johnson goes 82 yards after she hits the circle button here. And there she goes. The distance and the difference in this first half. 6-0. Richmond leads. And the offense for Oklahoma would try to spread things out, try to get the running game going. They had a couple opportunities to do that. And then Richmond trying to add to their lead. They cough up the pill late in the second quarter. Oklahoma recovers. They have an opportunity to have good field position. They drive down, but that drive would inevitably stall thanks to that Black Widow defense. Donna, your thoughts on that first half?
Well, you know, this just isn't a low-scoring game. It's really a clinic in discipline and defense, field control. These are two of the most physical, aggressive defenses in this division, and they're doing exactly what they were built to do, to frustrate the offense, eliminate the rhythm, and, you know, they're forcing a lot of third downs and fourth downs, and they're not getting those third and fourth downs.
So what adjustments will be made here in the second half? The game of chess between coaches certainly going to be felt in this one, with just a 6-0 advantage for Richmond. And I felt like from the offensive side of things, Oklahoma had a little bit more success offensively. They just weren't able to inevitably punch it into the end zone.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma might need to use more bootlegs and keep working those screens, test the edges a little bit more. Richmond's doing a good job of plugging those inside runs, but they haven't really stretched the plays yet. You know, Richmond's doing a good job of just, you know, they got to get those quick passes. They need something outside the box, right? Consider a trick play, maybe get that ball to TK Graham in the wide receiver spot. Do something that you haven't done in the first half.
Richmond looking for their first championship And this just being their second appearance. Oklahoma, first time being in the title game. And they will get the football to start this second half.
Well, this is going to come down to who breaks first. You know, one turnover, one special team slip, one broken tackle, that's your ball game. Expect a field position grind. Whoever makes the first big offensive play of the second half likely wins it. We're looking forward to a big second half here.
Richmond is set it the way of Oklahoma. Allison will have it on a tee. From the 45-yard line, a little pooch kick fielded by Oklahoma. And Amy Moran does the honors there and sets Oklahoma up first down and 10 in pretty decent field position. And let's see if they try to go back to that screen game, which had success with Courtney Eldridge getting the ball out.
Got it offside on the kicking team. Penalty would be 5 yards from the end of the kick. First down.
Well, offensively, Oklahoma was 8 for 20 for 20 yards passing, and they rushed the ball 15 times for 42 yards. So they didn't get a lot of offensive production in the first half. We're expecting that to open up a little bit more in this second half.
That penalty moves Oklahoma up to the 49-yard line. Already operating in Black Widow territory. And we get whistles and a stop before we get a snap here. We're going to get a timeout. So halftime wasn't enough for Richmond. They want to talk things over a little bit more.
Well, they didn't come out in the proper defense. I saw the coach with a little frustration there on the sideline. You just want to make sure your defense is set up in the right defense to start this second half.
Want to check in with Susie Cool down on the sidelines.
And I caught up with Oklahoma head coach Brandon Webb over halftime, and he said that his offense just really needs to get sparked in this second half. They need to see the ball completed. In the first half, Webb said that his team had some drops and self-inflicted penalties. In the rage, they just need to play clean and stay on the field here right now. Matt?
Susie, thank you. Yeah, of course, if you're Oklahoma, you're still very much in this game, and it really doesn't matter what you executed or how you executed in the first half. It's about doing so here in the second. And they'll try to do so from a first down at 10 from the 49-yard line. And Eldridge with the sidecar to her left. Looks that way, lines up and got a receiver. It's Bledsoe, shakes off one, shakes off another, picks up 16 yards and an Oklahoma first down.
That's our biggest play from this Oklahoma offense this game. Nice job getting that ball out right quickly to the receiver. And you know she's tough to bring down.
They're going to go quick to the line here for Oklahoma. From the 33 now. Simmons the carry. Picks up 4 to the 29.
Oklahoma doing a good job picking up good yards on first down.
Second down, 6. Back to pass, little pump fake. And just trying to time that with Bledsoe, cannot get the back shoulder incomplete. It will be third down.
We've seen this all game. Richmond defense giving up some plays, but not bending, not breaking.
Gonna go shotgun on 3rd and 6. Trips lower part of your screen. Throws a slant pattern that's one-handed and picked off. Intercepted by Johnson, who has a convoy down the far sideline, breaks another tackle. Johnson refusing to go down, and finally brought down at the 35-yard line. A punt return for a touchdown, and now an interception return for a touchdown, or return to the 35-yard line, and sets Richmond up with great field position on the INT.
Well, you see this nice little one-handed catch off the back of that tip pass, and just a great job getting downfield, making players miss, using that speed, seeing vision. Special teams and defense getting it done for Richmond.
You see the showtime on the back, and she has been showtime for Richmond. One-handed INT down to the 35-yard line, and 1st down and 10 for the Black Widows. See if they can get their offense moving in that direction, and they hand it off. It was blown up from the start, but still refusing to go down is Jamisha Worthington. Jamisha Worthington carries for a loss of 1, but man, she should have been blown up there for a loss of 4 or 5 originally.
That play was blown up off the line of scrimmage. Okay, Oklahoma's defensive line just doing a great job coming off that ball hard, getting in the backfield, not giving up anything.
2nd down and 11. Or they take the call one more time. Picks her way forward to the 33-yard line.
This is the first time Richmond's really had a chance down here, not shooting themselves in the foot yet. Let's see if they can continue moving the ball on 3rd down, getting some yards, setting up either easy 4th down or getting this 1st down right off the bat.
3rd and 8. Little misdirection. Ball came loose and recovered by Richmond, but it will be 4th down.
A little confusion there in the backfield. There's a lot of players there in the backfield, a lot of movement going on this Richmond offense, and just a little bit too much there. Unable to make that handoff cleanly. So we see the replay here. Ball just kind of comes out quickly. Richmond's very fortunate to fall on that ball, keep possession here.
4th down, and Oklahoma looking to slam the door shut on Richmond one more time, and wow, they took slam literally as one of the defenders picked up Worthington and slammed her down.
Looks like we got an Oklahoma player down. But once again, that offensive backfield, there's just a little bit of confusion there. Players running into each other. They need to just clean that up a little bit. This is something that they've been running all year long. Something they should have down pat.
And a turnover on downs gives Oklahoma the ball back. An injured player down for Oklahoma, you see there. Athletic training staff to attend to her. Quickly cured. Toya Loper, the injured Rage member that will walk off under her own power, and now it will be Oklahoma who, John, I keep saying it, but they've been able to have the glimpses of it, but they get down, you know, almost feels like some kind of force field at the 20-yard line. They just can't find their way past.
Well, you know what would flip this game is a 64-yard drive for a touchdown right now. You know, not flashy, just something effective. You know, no turnovers, keep this ball moving. they've got themselves right where they want to be.
You know, trips tight to the formation, top of your screen. Back to pass. Having time, will put it out there and just too far out there, incomplete. Intended for Bledsoe.
This is what we talked about, wanting to see them open up the offense a little bit more. Even if they're incomplete passes, we still like to see them being a little bit aggressive on offense.
And flood concept there. Second down and 10 coming up. And hand it off. Simmons stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
Richmond defense continues to get off that ball hard. Very aggressive, doing exactly what their coach had asked. Be aggressive, be physical.
Chiquita Nathaniel on the tackle there for Richmond. Third down and 10 for Oklahoma. Eldridge gets the snap. Back to pass. Steps up and lets this thing fly right over the middle and in and out of the hands of Sarah Rose. Oh, that would have been the biggest play of the day for Oklahoma, and she cannot reel it in.
Rose has to be kicking herself right now. She went up for that pass. A little bit of alligator arms versus getting those diamond fingers together. You see her trying to come up with a catch. See, just look at the position of her hands a little bit. That ball was a little bit behind her. That was going to be a tough catch right there.
It's off of her shoulder pad. And it will be fourth down. So punt unit out for Oklahoma, so they say, and they rugby down. It's blocked. It's blocked and scooped up by Richmond and returned for a touchdown. Unbelievable. Alex Barnett.
Wow. Does it get better than that?
Special teams again. Special for Richmond.
Oklahoma punter looks like she might go ahead and try to run for that first down. Waits a little extra before she gets that punt off. Great block, scoop, return for a touchdown. And right here, I think, oh, maybe she's just going to run for it. Decides last minute to get that ball off.
The block and the scoop. How many times do you see someone get the block and get the return for the touchdown?
Well, you can tell that punter wants nothing to do with her after she gets that ball.
Flag is down for this extra point. Attempt for Richmond. It's a delay game penalty on Richmond. And just for the fans watching, this is not something that either of the teams are used to. Keep in mind, Oklahoma averages 39 points a game, and Richmond averages 30 points a game. Playing well underneath their averages. The two-point conversion fails here with Estep being stopped short, but a 12-0 advantage for Richmond. And you know what's better than one special teams touchdown? Two of them. And another look on the 8 Nation instant replay. Alex Barnett out of Henrico, Virginia. And all of her friends back at East Chapel Hill High School, they're going to remember this one. Might end up on social media later, I think.
Definitely going to make her highlight reel.
Just getting the fan now on the sideline. I don't know how much that little fan's doing down there, but We need to get Susie one of those.
She's already cool, though.
That's a good point. She doesn't need a fan.
She brings it with her.
every day, Donna.
Every day, man. I bring the heat, she brings the cool. It's a good team right there.
It is. Allison to kick it away. Kicks this one, angles it out of bounds, and that will give Oklahoma good field position.
I don't know why you don't kick it deep when you're up by 2 scores.
Yeah.
Illegal kick out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
No,
Ball
I'm with you.
I mean, you've got the lead. You got to keep the pressure going.
Yeah, and I mean the only thing to get Oklahoma back into this game is short fields and maybe a big play, and you're almost enabling the chance of that happening.
Well, one thing we know, they've got to maintain their composure. It's not time to over-celebrate yet. This game still has a quarter, almost 2 quarters left.
And if 2 weeks taught us anything,
right?
In the Pro National Conference Championship game, Pittsburgh up 20 points in the 4th quarter. End up losing by 1, 35-34. Here's Simmons, the call on 1st down, and picks up a yard.
You know, OKC needs to abandon this vanilla run game. They've got so much talent out there. They need to create something, get their motion, get the scramble.
Second down and 9. Eldridge looks near side, in and out of the hands. And Vanessa Bledsoe trying to reel that one in.
I'd like to see Oklahoma push the tempo a little bit more. Maybe just speed up the game, go no huddle. Just do something to get this Richmond defense a little more off balance.
Yeah, I mean, they have been so close on their big play opportunities. They've just missed 3 or 4 different times. You'd like them to attempt those chances on 1st and 2nd down rather than trying to Hail Mary the ball on 3rd and 4th. But on 3rd down, here comes pressure, and she'll have nowhere to go. She is sacked, and it's T.K. Graham.
T.K. Graham laying the hammer. Yeah, that's a linebacker with DB speed. She closes quickly. True nose for the ball right there.
She was like one of those flying spiders there, Donna. That's what T.K. Graham looked like.
Unstoppable blitzer right there.
The second that Courtney Eldridge looked up, T.K. Graham was wrapping her up. Punt unit out, and be careful here. Lacey Warmer punting duties. It takes a minute to get back to her. She does get one off here. And it's Graham on the return. Here comes TK. TK shrugs off 2 and gets pulled down out of bounds. And we go down to Susie Cool. Apologize for that. First down in 10 coming up here for Richmond.
TK Graham looks a little spent over there.
Misdirection play that carry forward just shy of the midfield stripe. They go on the ground to Manny Curtis.
Well, now's the time Richmond just needs to grind this ball out, continue moving the ball, getting first downs, keep eating up this clock.
Handoff goes to the left side, and Thompson, and not much room available, maybe 2 to the 49. Or it will be third down coming up.
Well, she should have lost 3 yards on that play, so nice little run to get a couple yards there.
Third down, 3 to go. Allison hands it off to Thompson, who is about a yard shy of the sticks. This initial spot from the officials. Bledsoe and Berryhill come in to make the tackle.
Key fourth down play coming up here for Oklahoma. They want to get this ball back and try to get back in this ball game, and Richmond's got other ideas.
Fourth down it is. Fourth down and 1. Neither team has been great on fourth downs today. They go fullback dive, and she's denied. Oklahoma holds. A textbook tackle by Jasmine Crisp.
Yeah, Crisp did a great job just coming off hard. You see her just initially getting off that ball right in the backfield to make that tackle.
Denying any chance for Manny Curtis to get that marker. They thought, go to the first back through the hole as opposed to the second, and not fooled. Gap integrity, great job there by Oklahoma to get the ball back, and now trailing by 2 scores. 6:24 to go in this third quarter. They go back to the slant pattern that's completed to Bledsoe, and she picks up 4 on the passing catch.
Yeah, this is what they need, get these short rhythm passes. Bledsoe, Moran, get the offense moving.
Second down and 7. Eldridge puts the ball into the air, and it was a dangerously thrown ball, incomplete. She had pressure lurking on her, and that was coverage blanketed. Jenna DeSantis was the closest in coverage there for Richmond.
Well, Richmond had 3 defenders over there in coverage. As we've seen all night, their defense has been great in coverage. It's been great up front, doing what they need to do to stop this really talented Oklahoma offense.
Third down, 7. Ball at the midfield stripe. Back to pass on third down. Pitt as she throws. Intercepted at the 35. Guess who it is? Another INT for Johnson. And Johnson searching for touchdown number 2. And she's got it. Touchdown, Richmond. Tatiana Johnson.
Wow. Wow, what a defensive play.
Johnson does it on a punt return, and now gets her second interception of the game and her second touchdown of the game, and could be running away with MVP honors with that touchdown.
Ball just kind of thrown up. No offensive player in the vicinity. Johnson knows to do what when she catches that ball.
Extra point. Mary Allison puts it through the poles and good. They'll make it 19-0. Richmond has a 3-score advantage on Oklahoma here in the third quarter.
Wow. Well, when I looked at this game and I watched the majority of it, I feel like Oklahoma is in control of this game. But Richmond is just absolutely dominating in special teams and defensive big plays, and that's the difference in this game.
Splash play department has been totally controlled by Richmond, Donna, no doubt.
Well, if you're going to control anything, control that big play, because that's what wins the games for you.
And it's also not often that you could say both defenses are pitching a shutout still, and it's 19-0.
Tatiana getting a little cool down with that fan there.
Ball goes out of bounds. Boy, they must know something from the special teams department to not give the ball to this Oklahoma return team, because they are much more willing to kick this ball directly out of bounds than give them a chance with it.
Kickoff out of bounds on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty from the end of the kick.
First down and 10. Oklahoma. Designed run play for Crawford. And she'll crawl forward to the 45.
Yeah, Oklahoma just let the edge rusher for Richmond just come straight off the edge. On these running plays, I like to see it hat on every defensive line. Don't let them through. Everyone's got to man up now.
Second down and 8. Eldridge moves Simmons to her left. And she'll keep now and not have much room to go at all. It will bring up third down.
Richmond defensive line still doing a great job penetrating, getting off the ball fast.
Pressure comes, sets up the screenplay. This time they get it completed and break a tackle. Can't break the second wave of it as Sorensen makes the catch and gets dragged down. Good open field tackle there by Tay Willis for Richmond, and it is fourth down now for Oklahoma.
You see Richmond here just doing a much better job on these screens. When you're very aggressive, oftentimes those screens can work because you're over aggressive, but their secondary is coming up and making big plays behind the linebackers and behind the defensive line.
Fourth down and 4. As the clock winds towards 3 minutes here in the third. And a timeout has been asked for and granted by Oklahoma. And we're going to check back downstairs with Susie.
Thanks, Matt. The WFA is literally changing lives in states and areas that we might not even think about. And that's certainly true for the Oklahoma Rage. Rage linebacker and left guard Shannon Moore is also a first grade teacher. She said she's had students and moms text her after games saying, "My daughter never knew girls could play football." saying that these texts have brought her to tears because she realizes the changes that this team is actually making for women and girls across the country. Moore also added that this change, though, isn't possible without the family-like culture that this team has been thriving off of all season long. Donna, do you think stories are similar to Shannon's here?
Oh, absolutely. You know, just being a part of this team is the most special thing in the world. And these players down here in this moment, having played in 3 championship games, I know what this stage is like, what's on the line, the pressure you're feeling, and the big moment opportunity to step up and make that play that's going to help win your game.
Yeah, that's the other part of this, the community that gets forged around these teams and programs. 4th down. Bledsoe gets the handoff, and she picks her way, but she's going to be a yard shy of the stick, so it's going to be a turnover on downs. Richmond's going to get the football right back, and this offense back out on the field.
Well,
and now, I was going to say, Donna, now from the offensive side, you have a little chip on your shoulder, right? Defense has scored. Special teams has scored.
You got to score. I mean, you're smelling blood. You're going to be a little more relaxed. There's a little pressure taken off you. What are you going to do when the game's wide open and you can do anything you want?
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Well, they'll keep it on the ground as expected. Worthington for a yard. Rucker on the stop.
Got some laundry on the field.
Another part of Susie's hit is, mentioning a teacher.
Yeah.
The walks of life and all.
Got a legal
the
block in the back on the offense. Black number 29. 5-yard penalty from the previous. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Well, all these women are in their life working their regular job, whatever that might be. At the end of my career, I got into the classroom, and it was so powerful being in there. I used to do career days, dress up in full uniform, go into the classroom. I did from 1st through 6th grade and spoke at their commencement. Those kids come back, and they're different. They see a powerful woman who's standing and doing what she wants to do, and that's everything for some of these young girls.
And now being able to be one of those young girls participating in WFA flag, being able to walk across just the hall here and walk through the Pro Football Hall of Fame and see a women's professional football jersey in the Hall of Fame. How powerful that is.
It's been an amazing opportunity for women all over to step into their power, and to be now recognized by the NFL is such a great honor, because we've played since 2001 in this league, and it took us over a decade to even get recognized. And now we're here in the Hall of Fame Stadium, where all the great broadcasters and players, Hall of Fame NFL players, have played.
Yeah, less than a week away from the NFL season getting started, with the way they kick the season off every year with the Hall of Fame game, and of course the Hall of Fame class of 2025.
I came up here back when Darryl Green got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Got to sit down on that field while they did the beautiful ceremony. Longest standing ovation.
Yeah.
I mean, just amazing to be a part of this culture here with women's football.
And it's an incredible place to watch football. Hall of Fame Village, and what they've done building it up, adding a second field, all the fields and flag fields that they have now. It has been amazing to see the reno over the years. 3rd down here. Richmond picks their way for another 2.
Richmond happy just to eat some time off this clock, keep that ground game going. But on a 4th down up by 3, I would punt it here.
Yeah,
you're at your 31-yard line. There's no point in trying to get a 15-yard first down when you're up by 3 scores.
Sure. And giving Oklahoma this short of field position, probably not something that Richmond would like to do.
Little confusion down there on the Richmond offense. It looks like we're going to run out the time clock.
Yep.
Play.
Delay a game, offense, number 7, 5-yard penalty.
And marches him back 5. Clock winding down towards the end of this third quarter. And I think that's going to be the way the quarter's going to end. So here in Canton, Ohio, where legends remembered forever and history is cemented, maybe there's some history brewing here. Has there ever been a WFA championship that offenses have never scored in? Fourth quarter could tell that tale. 19-0, Richmond leads Oklahoma. We're back after this on the All Women Sports Network. This is the A-Nation WFA National Championship powered by edX. The National Championship game is brought to you by A-Nation, the official sports drink of the WFA, and by edX, the official online education partner of the WFA. Let's play a fourth from Canton, Ohio. Here at Tom Benson Stadium, fourth quarter action with the Richmond Black Widows on top of the Oklahoma Range. 19-0 after 3 frames. We'll play a fourth. And as I let out with in the third, Donna, no offensive scores. A fourth down to get us started in the fourth quarter. And here's a return for Crawford. And the Rage, they get some flags flying from every official, I think, threw a flag on that one. So this play, this return going to come back a ways, you'd have to imagine. But as Oklahoma gets the football, will we see an offensive touchdown in this final frame?
I mean, they got to get ahead of the chains. They got to move the chains. They got to work with some urgency. They have time, but this drive needs to produce some points. They need to create some sort of momentum shift if they want to have a chance of getting back in this game.
During a return, have a block in the back, 48, White. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It'll be first down.
That moves Oklahoma back into their own territory. We're going to get pretty good field position out of that punt return, but aided by the aforementioned punt block or return block.
Oklahoma's still sitting on 8 of 20 passing for 20 yards. They need to open that up if they're going to get back in this game.
Eldridge keeps, shrugs off one, and then holding on was TK Graham to pull her down and wrestle her down. She was originally tricked there by the play action, but eventually was not.
Richmond does a good job of keeping the edge. Their edge players are getting hard downfield. Their entire team comes downfield pretty well.
Back to pass. We'll throw to the far numbers. It's caught, and a great open field tackle as hauling it in was Rose, but Rose gets quickly planted, and it will bring up third down. And you're talking about the edge for Richmond, Donna, but his secondary has been as good as any, as Jenna DeSantis shows it there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just great coverage and tackling as well. Finishing the tackle, finishing the play.
Third down at 5. Option time. And pulled down in the backfield, and guess who it is? Again, it's TK Graham.
We can't say enough about TK Graham. I mean, she just doesn't miss. Open field, comes off the ball hard. Quarterback kind of just ran into that one. Not moving the chains in the right direction.
No, you see all the colleges and high schools from these ladies on the roster, and under TK Graham, it lists homeschooling.
All right.
Kind of interesting. Out of Richmond, Virginia. 4th down and 10, back to pass. And it is caught. Bledsoe holds it in, and Bledsoe's getting loose. Bledsoe has a shoestring away from breaking it.
Well, that's a play. If you want to get the ball into one of your playmakers' hands, get it to Bledsoe. She's tough to bring down. You can see with her size, one shoestring tackle away from pay dirt there.
Yeah, that is as close as you get it. Tate Willis gets the tackle there. But a 1st down and 10. They convert on 4th down, does Oklahoma. Back to pass and throwing. She got a wide open receiver at the 20. Stop and go move at the 15, down to the 10, and help arrives as the ball comes loose. Momentarily, they'll say she was down at the 8. 1st and goal, Oklahoma.
A little broken coverage there. I don't know where the safety was. They were on the complete opposite side of the field.
And she had to wait on that one. Had Bledsoe been led a little bit, she's walking into the end zone. Timeout being asked for by Richmond with their backs against the wall for the first time. This is the first time either team has had an and goal situation.
Yeah, first time in the red zone.
And Richmond wants to talk about it. 10:59 to play here in the 4th. 19-0.
Well, we've seen some great comebacks in the 4th quarter. In fact, we were just about at this point down just a couple more points a couple weeks ago. So we know anything can happen in this game.
Yeah, if Oklahoma can punch one in here, things start to get a little more interesting for sure.
Well, we know they can stop Richmond's offense. That has not been a problem. Can they stop their special teams and defense from scoring, however?
Well, Richmond hasn't given up an offensive touchdown all but just 2 weeks ago. Was their only offensive touchdown surrendered. They've allowed just 20 points all year. Those came in just 2 games. Everything else has been a shutout. Could they surrender their 2nd offensive touchdown of the season? This first offensive carry there for Simmons. Trucks forward for 2. Manny Curtis on the stop out of the linebacker position. 2nd down and goal. Ball rests at the 6. Keeping is Crawford. She pushes the pile forward to the 4.
I like that call if you want to give your quarterback the ball, but get your 2 running backs out in front and get them lead blocking for you. Don't run up inside of your lead blocks because you're just running right into the defense.
3rd down and goal. Low snap, thrown into the end zone, intercepted with a flag down. And if the flag goes against Oklahoma, Richmond has shut the door again. They've done what they've done all season. Jenna DeSantis getting in the way of that one. as the officials discuss.
And talk about QB decision making. That ball was on the ground really early. I know she saw her receiver.
Got a neutral zone infraction on the defense. 88, half the distance to the goal line. Repeat the down.
Saved by the flag.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you see. And they carry forward down to the 2. It will be 4th down, and the plot thinking's here.
You know, I like what they're doing. I still want to see Rucker block somebody. She is standing on the snap of the ball, and that is an important block to get out there. One touchdown here changes momentum, puts Oklahoma back in this game. Everyone needs to be firing at full speed.
Crawford is lined up at the quarterback position. She goes off the right side. She is into the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma. And we have our first offensive touchdown of the ball game at the 9:03 mark of the 4th.
Well, we knew it was coming. Oklahoma has such a powerful offense. Eventually, they were going to put a string together. That's how you do it. Nice job coming off that right side. Just cleared a big hole. No one touched her into the end zone.
Extra point coming from Warmer. And that wobbles through to make our score 19-7. Oklahoma's on the board. And the little extracurriculars there, some pushing and shoving with the flag down after the extra point.
Well, things just got real interesting with this score.
Officials talking it over here.
After the kick, I have offsetting personal fouls on both the defense and the offense.
Alrighty. So a moot point there.
Well, that was a perfect call at the perfect time. We saw that offensive line really step up, get Oklahoma into the end zone. It might be just the push that they need to shift this momentum.
Hey, make sure you're following the WFA on Instagram at WFA Football. Some great highlights, analysis, so much great stuff about this league all season long. Join one of the 31,000 that already do it. WFA Football. Onside kick, rolling around, and it's bobbled around, and Oklahoma has the football.
Wow, are you kidding me? I thought that ball bounced up through her legs, able to fall on it. That is Rachel Stinson with the recovery. And just like that, Oklahoma is right back in this game, feeling the momentum shift.
Yeah, you were almost foreshadowing it earlier, Donna, about talking about the onside kick from 2 weeks ago. And now you see it bobbled around at Stinson. Oh, it got almost kicked right back to her. And the Rage aren't done yet. They have the football, 1st and 10, trailing by 2 scores with 9:03 to play in regulation. And Eldridge goes back to pass, looks near side, and just overthrows her intended receiver in Sorensen. 2nd down coming up.
Well, this is the time for Oklahoma just to stay focused, not to rush, stay within themselves. They have plenty of time in this game to move this ball with the offensive system that they want to run.
Just under 9 minutes to go. Shotgun formation for Courtney Eldridge in Oklahoma. Throw too tall for her intended receiver in Rose. They will bring up 3rd down. And you don't want to lose the opportunity here. You get the onside kick. You want to capitalize on it. Certainly, though, Richmond and their offense hasn't done a great job in having long time possessions. If you give the ball back, it's not the end of the world, but you'd love to capitalize on an opportunity. Eldridge has time. She's going to let this thing fly, and it's underthrown, incomplete for Bledsoe, 4th down.
Great effort on that attempt by Bledsoe. But once again, just not quite delivering that ball. Like we talked about earlier, still good coverage in the secondary there for Richmond.
Fourth down and 10 from the 45-yard line. Big play here in this 4th frame of our championship. Gonna just let it fly down the field. Ew, it had a receiver there at the 20, and it goes incomplete at Rose.
Man, Rose is just wishing she could have one more shot at that ball. Nicely thrown, great little look to the left, see your #1 receiver coming down. Chance to change the game, and just falls short.
Pass goes incomplete. It's a turnover on downs. Richmond gets the football. Let's check down with Susie Cool.
Thanks, Matt. Matt and Donna, I feel like we've all been around plenty of games in the WFA, and I feel I can speak on behalf of anyone that gets around these teams. They are truly unlike any other league with the way that they are doing this game purely out of love. These women balance work, motherhood, life, football. In Rage linebacker and left guard Shannon Moore said, with everything else that goes on outside of football, Moore said the hard work and camaraderie is what makes playing for this team so special. You're not just doing it for teammates, Moore said, we're doing this for our sisters, and you've seen the Rage. They're still battling for their sisters out here today. Matt?
Yeah, Susie, I know standing up here with someone who could talk all about that and could do it for hours, the sisterhood.
I mean, I didn't want to leave the game because of that. 17 years, and that is my family. And so I honor each of these players and their families that they play with.
Back to the ground game. DJ Thompson got the last carry, picks up a 1st down on this one, and Richmond wants to control this pace and clock.
Well, with those 2 rushes, Richmond just outrushed their entire first half.
First down now for Richmond. Another carry, runs into her own blocker and then tries to bounce it to the outside, and a hard piece of running. My goodness, for Thompson, that's as hard of a 3-yard run you're gonna see.
Well, yeah, that's beautiful running. That just shows the heart of these players. We talk about the heart and what you do for your teammates, just going out there, not giving up anything.
Second down and 7. Motion is right, and here she is on the end around, and just tremendous containment there.
Yeah, that sweep's going nowhere. Rachel Stinson, again, holding that edge.
bring up 3rd down at 11 now. And a timeout here taken. Gives us a chance to talk about what's coming up next. Tonight, it's the Division II National Championship. The Salt Lake Wildcats in their inaugural season found their way to Canton, Ohio. They'll take on the Baltimore Nighthawks, who have finally gotten over that semi-final hump to get here to the championship game, as it'll be the Nighthawks matching up with Salt Lake coming up here at 6:30.
Our second DMV team in our second matchup.
And then tomorrow afternoon, it is the defending champs back in town. The St. Louis Slam return after downing Boston last season, and then they'll match up against Donna Wilkinson's DC Divas, right?
I'm so looking forward to that game. 8 years since I retired. The Divas just really working to put their whole team back together, rebuilding and coming out strong. Amanda, just an amazing leader with them. I'm looking forward to that game tomorrow night.
And off the left side, Thompson for 2.
And this play right here is the game for Oklahoma. If they can make a stop here and get this ball back, they're still right in this. If Richmond continues to push forward, they can really put this game to bed.
Yeah, clock now certainly not in favor of Oklahoma. Fourth down, and they're just going to punt. Pin them back, muffed, picked up Berryhill on the return, and she got a nice piece of return there, this time with no flags down. A nice return for Oklahoma. They set up shop, 5:14 to go here in regulation, and the plot still gets kind of interesting again now with, again, I go back to Donna, and I feel like Oklahoma, if they come up short in this game, are going to feel this way of how close they were from those big plays turning into, we just saw in that 4th down conversion attempt that they ended up missing. That could have went for 6 very easily.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of things to analyze at the end of this game. Regardless of how it turns out, things you can do better. You don't need to get it all in one play. Now, I'm surprised that Oklahoma is still going with this slow pace. I would expect them to come out with a little more tempo, up pace, maybe try to get Richmond's defense off balance a little bit more.
Eldridge lets it fly, and it's intercepted, picked off. Berry on the INT trying to reverse field, and she will not be able to, but puts Richmond right back with possession of the football. Marisha Berry on the INT for Richmond.
Well, and that's the play right there that I feel is going to lock this game down. Richmond really doing it on defense and special teams. They're going to look back at this game and really give credit to those 2 units for stepping up big. Just nice reading that play, realizing the receivers going across the middle of the field just jumped that route.
Richmond takes over, 1st and 10. Under 5 to go. Play clock down to 5. And another carry for Thompson. obviously you like to see at the Division III level teams to get here for the first time, like in Oklahoma. But Richmond, in 10 years, they battled through. They get here their first year, their inaugural season back in 2016. They get to the championship game, fall short, lose by 2. They get to the conference championship back in 2018, fall short. It's been 10 years since they've been back, and now they're going to be able to get that elusive first championship in program history.
Well, you know, it's all those losses, all those near misses that make this so special and so sweet for all these players. If you come in, win your first year and your second year and every year, you don't know what it's like to lose. You don't understand how hard it is to win.
Yes.
These guys understand how hard it is to win.
Allison. And they head it off. And Worthington picks her way for maybe 3 back to the original line of scrimmage. And as we wind down here, I mean, the exciting and highlight reel that Tatiana Johnson was today. 2 interceptions, a punt return for a touchdown. One of those interceptions went for a touchdown.
Beautiful MVP night.
Fullback carry for Manny Curtis.
That's crisp, a little slow to get up. It's also a little harder to get up when you're down by 2 scores and you know this game is just about out of reach.
Yeah. And timeout taken here by Richmond. Both teams with a timeout left.
Well, Richmond's going to continue running this ball, but if there was any way Oklahoma could get a turnover, that's about the only chance they have of making a comeback in this game. Once again, it looks like Richmond's going to go for it.
That one loose, bobbing around, nearly caught there.
Once again, special teams.
Yeah.
A little magic in our special teams tonight.
And it will be a turnover on downs. Another look here at the
Ooh. Nice little hit there.
Yeah, Mary Allison took one there. That one's caught off the right side. Tight rope in the far side boundary.
Sarah Rose. Hey, you know, you're never out of this game. When you're a player, you're out there, you're getting every inch, every moment. Oklahoma's still fighting for everything.
Have a dead ball, personal foul out of bounds on the defense, number 16. Be a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Another look at it. Rose.
Little extra push out of bounds.
You know, I actually give her the benefit of the doubt on that one just because of all the tight roping.
Mm-hmm.
You never know when the momentum is going to take you out, so you make sure the momentum.
Yeah.
This is caught on the near sideline as the Rage pushing the ball down the field. Amy Moran makes the reception inside the 20. First down, Oklahoma, and the Rage aren't going away here quietly.
Well, hey, you got to stretch the field somewhere. Now's the time to do it. You've got to score 2 times quickly here.
Eldridge picks that one up. Screen pass set up, and oh my goodness. Rose took a hit. Could not haul in the pass. Second down and 10.
Toya Parrish is like, yo, get a little hit on a quarterback. Let's go.
Timeout on the field, and Oklahoma burning their final timeout. So they are out 19-7. Joined us late, an 82-yard punt return got the scoring going. Richmond taking a 6-0 lead. That is what they would take in at half. And a punt blocked return for a touchdown, and an interception return for a touchdown is the Richmond scoring. And this is another interception, and can it be returned for a touchdown?
It can. There is no
Oklahoma
defense. Woo.
And going all the way is Marisha Berry. 85 yards on the interception. Return for a touchdown and an explanation point for Richmond.
Wow, we'll talk about defense stepping up today. That was a screen pass that Oklahoma's been running all game. Defense just stepped right up in there. Here we see the replay again. Quarterback throwing it right up.
Oh,
jumps underneath that pass.
Off the turf.
Ooh, beautiful. And it's pay dirt.
So the defense has scored 3 touchdowns. Special teams has chipped in another. And it is 25-7 with 1:41 left, and Berry being carried.
If you would have told me they were going to be a team winning this game, not scoring a single time on offense, I would have thought you were crazy. But look at it now. Amazing job. Every aspect of the game holding on, supporting.
Extra point here for Richmond. It's going to be flipped out and go incomplete. 25-7. Another look at the interception. There was nothing but green grass in front of Berry once she.
I love the coach running down. Yeah.
A little gritty.
Love it. Yeah, nice job.
Yeah, a little
nice
camera
job.
time.
Yeah, you earned it. You earned it.
Richmond win this title. I feel like how many times did Oklahoma start, you think the game was over, and then Oklahoma started pushing the ball down the field. And like, you get a touchdown and onside kick, this game's still right, well within reach, but that all but does it with the interception return for a touchdown, 85 yards. And this kick fielded at the 35 and parked there. Let's see what the Rage decide to do with this minute and 36 seconds.
Well, Oklahoma's promising drives have all been crushed by turnovers, especially in the second half. That's a testament to this Richmond's defense. The fact that it scored more than its offense, their swarming style, big play capability, they've done it all tonight.
I mean, how many times in football's history can you say you've seen a championship team that did not score an offensive touchdown
and win the game?
Correct.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
And that one miscommunication, but spinning away was Crawford into open space, and Crawford bowls her way. Wow, what a collision there for a 9-yard rush for number 9.
Takes the hit, gives the hit, keeps on going.
Nice look at it there. Second down and 1. And a flag there. 48 ticks to go. Full start penalty.
5-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Still trying to sort out that last penalty. There we go, second down. And that carry gets pushed back immediately as Rucker had nowhere to go.
Well, that's just really showing exactly what this defense did all night. Get up after the quarterback, get up after the ball, get up after the receivers, continually swarming, team defensive effort. 3 turnovers forced, an interception return for a touchdown, punt block scooped and scored. They've done it all on defense today.
And while this one was far from perfect, it caps a perfect season for the Richmond Black Widows, your WFA Division III national champions. A 25-7 victory over the Oklahoma Rage in a game that Richmond uses defense and special teams to score all 25 of their points. 3 interceptions returned for a touchdown and a punt block as well.
Well, they were relentless on defense. They gave Oklahoma zero room to rush. They really shut down a very powerful offensive team.
And ironically enough, Donna, so did Oklahoma.
They did.
Shut down a Richmond offense that was highly potent throughout the season.
Well, 3 key turnovers and a special teams clinic by Richmond is the difference in this game.
Congratulations to the Richmond Black Widows. 10 years as an organization, and they get their first national championship, bringing it back home to Virginia.
Oklahoma had a lot of heart, but unable to finish. Too many drives stalled due to misfires, drops, pressure. Just unable to make that one key play. Got to hand it to Oklahoma. They stayed in there, they hung in there. It just wasn't their day. Well, you know,
All right, we're going to go down to Susie Cool, who has our player of the game. Susie.
Thanks, Matt. Tatiana, what a game here today. How many teams can you name that have scored all their touchdowns from their defense or their special teams? I'm just kidding. That's not your first question yet. No, great job out there today, though. You had 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns yourself. Where were you most confident in your game today?
Honestly, on defense, I would say I'm very confident on defense because I know, like, speed-wise, I'm able to get there, and I really do trust my teammates. So I know if I can't get it, my teammates got my back always. Like, we're a family, so I know they have me.
This championship title has been 10 years in the making. It's been 6 months of 3 days a week of practice and undefeated regular season. At what point in the season did you realize this title was possible?
The first game. The first game, absolutely. Once I saw how we played together as a team and our chemistry, especially our chemistry on and off the field, I already knew we had a championship game. Like, we had a championship team. I already knew.
Thank you so much, Tatiana. Congratulations. Great job out there today. Matt?
Susie, thank you. Congratulations to Tatiana and the Richmond Black Widows on a national championship. And Donna, this is my favorite part, just seeing all of that just jubilation, that almost relief of we did it, we've achieved our goal that we set out for way back in January.
Well, best feeling in the world, and this wasn't just a Richmond win. This was a statement. This was a full team, 3-phase triumph. They built this on trust, tenacity, working together, that teamwork that they talked about, that family. This is the energy that Richmond brought. If they carry this into next year, we're going to see them back here on this championship stage again.
And there you see the WFA Franco Harris Trophy for the Division III national champions, the Richmond Black Widows, 25-7 winners over Oklahoma. And as they set up the trophy presentation that will turn over to down to the field. Coming up next, just a little bit, Division II National Championship. Salt Lake meets Baltimore in the D2 title game. Talk about differencing in styles, but also differencing in stories of the newcomer versus the old kid on the block that's finally made it.
Well, we're creating a lot of beautiful storylines in women's football. These women are a part. They are making history. We are making history right now in this moment in this stadium.
And of course, the namesake of the national championship trophy for the late Pro Football Hall of Famer Franco Harris, who was co-owner with the Pittsburgh Passion. And just an absolute, and we've said this before, a women's football fan. Love the game of women's football.
We love Franco Harris. He was such a big part of just the whole Pittsburgh and the women's football movement, getting us here in the Hall of Fame Stadium. Much love for him, and grateful that we can continue to honor him in our celebration.
as wife and son continue the operations of Aid Nation, which is, of course, the title sponsor of our national championship games.
Aid Nation now actually has hydrating protein as well. So another aspect of looking at the game inside your protein and hydration.
There you go. And how about Baltimore giving a salute to Richmond? A little DMV love from the center of the field over to the sidelines as Baltimore gets ready for their game. Looking and hoping that they are in the same spot in just a few hours.
Well, they're looking to strap theirs on and get it going here. You know, but we got to give our credit to this Richmond team. You know, they out-hit, they out-hustled, out-schemed Oklahoma. They played for each other. They answered the challenge with force. Congratulations, Richmond Black Widows.
Let's go to public address announcer Brandon Rosside.
Round of applause for a hard-fought championship game in championship seasons. Now it's time to name our MVPs for both teams. Presented by Visit Canton. First, the MVP for the Oklahoma Rage is Jasmine Crisp. And now, the MVP for the Richmond Black Widows is Tatiana Johnson. And now, here to present the championship trophies, please welcome Chief Legal Officer Lillian Brownstein and the head of edX Enterprise, Brian Patry. And now, presenting the Franco Harris WFA Division III National Championship Trophy to this year's Division III National Champions, the Richmond Black Widows. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the Division II WFA National Championship game, which will be coming up in just about an hour. It features the Baltimore Nighthawks and the Salt Lake Wildcats. If you choose to leave, we thank you for joining us.
Thank you to Brandon. And back up here with Donna Wilkinson, congratulations to the Richmond Black Widows, your Division III WFA National Champions. And take a look at the highlights. It was led by the defense. And I tell you what, Tatiana Johnson also led the way with her electrifying and highlight reel stuff.
6 momentum shifter. Her interception return touchdown put the game out of reach. Of course, her punt return touchdown, 50-yard special teams, changing the game. Lockdown coverage.
Don't forget about Alex Barnett and her punt block. And recovery rolling into the end zone. A big reason why Richmond is your Division III Women's Football Alliance national champion.
Well, big-time players show up in big games, and a lot of these Black Widows, Tatiana Johnson, stepped up big time.
Congratulations to the Richmond Black Widows, winners of the Division III National Championship over the Oklahoma Rage. For Donna Wilkinson and our entire crew, thanks to our producer Jake Mitch-Lipchick, director Corey Berger, and our entire JRM production crew, I'm Matt Fargo saying thanks so much for watching this presentation of the Women's Football Alliance Division III National Championship. D2 is only an hour away. Keep it locked to the All Women's Sports Network and all weekend long here from Canton, Ohio. Have a great afternoon, everybody.